Hello, welcome. This is the tarot readings for beginning of the week for the next few days ahead. I just can't believe it if you watch this channel a lot. Oh God, there's no builders here today. I can hear there's been some drilling on the other side of the flats. My flats are sort of really big and there's a garden in the middle and they're on the other side at the moment. And it's just so quiet. It's so quiet here. I literally, you can tell the look on my face. It's like euphoria. I'm so happy because it's just so like loud, and you know, I've been just trying to like zone out from it for weeks, and it's just so silent here today. It's just lovely. So I'm really sorry about the last lot of videos. I had background noise. I felt so bad putting them out, but otherwise I can't work, and I have to, you know, I like to at least do like 2 zodiac readings a week. Yeah, it's a real blessing. Anyway, I hope you're doing all right, and I'm sending you lots of love across Gaia wherever you are. I am going to use this Rose Tarot today. Well, no, it's not the Rose Tarot, it's the Rose Oracle, and that's going to be the message from our spirit guides, okay? So whatever our spirit guides are helping us work on. And I'm going to use this lovely deck, which I haven't had very long, this lovely True Love Oracle. And yeah, we're going to go into the messages. I was going to show you my cute new slippers if you want to have a look. I wanted to share because I've been going a bit mad because I don't go out much, you see. I just tend to stay in quite a lot, so I've been buying, because it's starting to get cold here in England, I've started to buy like lots of like fluffy nice like this. That's a dressing gown. I'll probably end up wearing it on the channel in the winter because sometimes it's so bloody cold when I'm sitting here when I'm working, so I might end up wearing it. But look at these cute slippers I bought. Oh dear, some of you might not appreciate this, but some of you will. They're so cute, look, aren't they adorable? Got these big fluffy hearts on. So I'm really happy with those. Doesn't take much to make me happy. Oh dear. So yeah. Oh dear. Right. I'm gonna start the readings now. I've got Gilbert, my dog, sitting under the table, so I can hardly move my feet. He doesn't normally sit there when I'm working, so it's a bit unusual. Maybe because it's so peaceful. Right then, so we'll start off with Taurus. I'm drinking a cup of tea this morning. So it's going a bit cold already actually, so it's just warm now. Okay, so Taurus then, for Monday and the week ahead. And Taurus is the higher state of consciousness, okay, and commitment, loyalty. Commitment to your path, loyalty to yourself. You know, loyalty to your spiritual path and your higher consciousness. When Taurus is in alignment, you're very good at just seeing things from a higher perspective. Okay. Oh, you've got the card dating. Oh dear, so that's lovely, isn't it? Now, if you're single, you know, this starts off with self. All the relationship cards start off with yourself. So dating yourself, you know, your true self, not the false self. But yeah, it looks like, Taurus, you are manifesting some nice things that you're doing with yourself, and maybe eventually with somebody else, or maybe this week some of you will be meeting other people. Dating, perhaps. Let's see what else we're getting. Okay, so you've been experiencing some stuckness in the mind, okay, with the 8 of Swords. That is feeling obstructed, stuck, or well, yeah, I mean, it is really, it's a mental obstruction, okay. Air, swords are air, and that's mental. So it's just where the mind you know, sometimes makes you feel stuck with something, or was making you feel stuck with something, you know, and it could have been negative thoughts. The ego's really, what I'm finding, is made up of 2 parts. You've got the part of the ego which is like the inner child, okay, so that's the part that is very needy and can be quite addictive because it always feels like it's missing love, and so it will give us lots of thoughts around that. And then the other part of the ego I find is the superego, which is very critical of others and critical of our lives and critical of ourselves. And so that's where the two parts of the ego give us a lot of mind activity. So it's one of those parts, either the inner child or the superego, which is like the critical parent. And either of those parts, or maybe both, was keeping you very obstructed in the mind, so that you couldn't really just be free to be yourself, you know, to progress. But over the next few days, over the next week, you've got here the Three of Wands, which is fantastic. You're moving now into a much better position. This is like now a time of progress. It's like you've really chosen your path, or you've got much more of an idea of your path now, of how you need to be proceeding. And Spirit is saying you are in a good position, and things the next week should be progressing nicely for you. Okay, and you know, it looks like you're really set for very good things. Okay, and let's see what's going on with your person. Okay, so you've got somebody here that is committed, all right? And this could be to do with love, or it could be to do with friendships, family, or something in your life to do with maybe a work opportunity or a health situation. There is somebody here that is loyal, committed, wanting to come in with an opportunity, but this is quite a slow growth. Okay, so it's either a situation or a person, and it's just somebody or a situation it's occurring slowly for you, but it does look good in the longer term. Okay, this situation, it will prove to be abundant, but it probably will take patience, because we've got the Five of Cups here, which just means that there might be certain disappointments for you around this person or this situation, and it's easy to probably focus on the negatives about it. Because obviously, like I said, you've got the two parts of the ego, one wanting to be really critical, the other side of it is very sort of like inner child, needy, insecure, frightened. So, you know, it's like it may be sort of obstructing you at times, this person or this situation, because, you know, you kind of know deep down you're on the right track to getting what you want, but it's proving to be disappointing at times at the moment. And when that happens, it can be a bit of a slippery slope, because, you know, it can then pull you into that negative ego, rather than sort of being able to maintain a conscious observation of it and saying to yourself, well, all right, it's not looking how I want it to look right now, but actually I am in a good position, you know. I do have more focus now, I do have more of a vision, you know, and look at all the things that you are doing so well with, right? That's what Spirit is basically saying here. You just got to think long term, okay? That's the main thing for Taurus at the moment, is thinking long term, because long term you are lining up with much better things, okay? Or much better relationship. So don't let the slowness of it kind of drag you down. That's what Spirit is basically saying, because they're reassuring you this week that things are on the up, and there could be some nice little things you're doing over the next week that are showing you and confirming for you, yeah, you know, I am moving in the right direction here, and there are improvements, whether it's in your relationship or some other area like your life purpose. Spirit is helping you with the mystic rose: compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. Wow, that's a lot. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. So you may resonate with one of those words more than others. I would zone in on the humility part, because the more humble you can be in accepting the things that are a bit disappointing or difficult at the moment, that actually helps you to diminish the ego. And actually, once we diminish the ego, we're much more free to focus on the positive. And that's what Taurus is so good at. You are very practical when it comes to the end of the day. And the fact that you're practical, it's like, yeah, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to stick with the road I've chosen. because I am seeing some good things happening. You are going to see some good things happening this week, and they're going to confirm to you you're on the right track. You know, so you're just going to keep moving forward, and Spirit is helping you to be humble and accepting of the things that are a bit niggly or disappointing at the moment, and not let those things drag you down, you know, to just stay in your centered Taurus energy. Okay, so it should be a good week there for you, and with some nice little things to pick you up as well with that card there. Okay, so take a bit of my tea. I smashed my Barbie cup yesterday. I couldn't bloody believe it. I've only had it for about 3-4 weeks, and I smashed it. I dropped it on the kitchen floor yesterday, so that was a bit of a shame. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Might have to buy a new cup. Let's go into Virgo then. Okay, so Virgo. Let's see what we get for you. Inner peace. Wow. Now that's very nice. Feeling more peaceful the next few days. You know, and that is the strongest place to get to. When you can get to the point of inner peace within yourself, they say that basically everything around you becomes peaceful. So, you know, that's the true awakening, actually. And, you know, you are the observer, you're the hermit. So when you are able to just observe things and stay aligned with your own inner peace and just observe the chaos around, you know, like I've been with these builders around me the last few weeks, it's like, yeah, you know, it really is amazing. So the next few days, nice and peaceful for you, feeling more peaceful within yourself, even if there is crazy stuff going on around you. Okay, so the thing is as well with the crazy stuff that goes on around us, essentially that really is ego that you're observing play out in your life, okay? And ego is not of the truth, if you like. It's a false energy. So that's why they always say the ego is temporary. So if you are very grounded in yourself, which it looks like you are, and you're staying more aligned in your peace, all of this ego and stuff that goes on around you, it's temporary and it passes. Spirit is confirming you've been making the right judgments lately. You've got here, well, actually you've got the Knight of Wands. Sorry, I thought that was the King of Wands. I don't know why. So the Knight of Wands. So you were taking risks. You were being a bit unpredictable in yourself. And you may have been in and out of a situation about something. You know, you might have been a bit in and out or up and down about something. Right? But what's going on here is, I think you're realising the karmic patterns that were playing out. And you don't want to keep those karmic patterns alive inside you anymore. You know, you're realising that some of those things you were doing have sort of naturally come to a closure, naturally just come to an end. And that's beautiful, because that's a natural dropping away, and that's how things should happen for us. You know, we should never be forcing ourselves to become more conscious. You know, that's not what spirituality is about. That's not what, you know, that's not what Source is about. It's just about letting they call it Leela, the play of God. You know, allow that to happen. Observe yourself when you're doing crazy, nutty things. I do all the time. But it just knowing it's not you, it's just the full self playing itself out, and it's karmic, you know. And it runs out of steam eventually when you stop feeding it. You know, when you stop feeding the drama, you know, it starts to run out of energy. And so there's some sort of karmic patterns that are coming to a closure for you. You're recognising, you know, this isn't really for me anymore. I don't really resonate with it. And even if I am a bit triggered about the things going on around me, it doesn't have to affect me anymore, and I don't have to get drawn into it. I can just remain peaceful in myself. So you're coming into a much stronger position now, and it's good confirmation that if there's something you've wanted to end, you know, it is really coming to an end. We've got here the Wheel of the Year, which is the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. So that card just flipped over while I was shuffling. So that's confirmation about a cycle. It's confirmation about you beginning a more positive chapter in your life. Wow, I mean, the energy of people around you, it's either a person or a situation. There was a lot of lack, there was a lot of coldness there with the Five of Pentacles, okay, and it's in reversed. So where you've experienced a situation in your life that was just really causing you a lot of conflict and, you know, a lot of ups and downs, and, you know, it's really starting to ebb out now. It's really starting to close down. And you've got the Ace of Wands here, which is like a new opportunity, a new beginning. So this could be a new situation in your life starting, okay? It could be definitely a new chapter. It could be a new situation, whatever that may be, you know, because it's time. It just feels like it's time. An old timeline is closing down, and old karmic energies coming to an end to do with something in your life. So the next few days is a more peaceful vibe for you. You're more centered, and you're just kind of patiently waiting to see what evolves out of it, you know, just to really honor that. But it does look really like the next week is a great opportunity for you. The Ace of Wands can signify like money as well, money coming in for you. But it's like Spirit giving you an opportunity that you can action, and you're now probably ready for that. You're actually ready, which is great. Let's have a look at what your spirit guides are supporting you with. So you are moving to a higher state of consciousness, and you are observing a lot more what's been going on around you. And that is the key to you being in your higher alignment, when you just stop and observe, for Virgos. Because otherwise, with Virgo energy, like me, I've got it in my chart, we can be on this, we're too busy going round and round in the wheel, and we don't stop and notice. But you are doing that now. You're noticing something coming to an end. Now, your spirit guides are helping you with lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call and gather. Wow, that's quite powerful. Soul call and gather. It's a very powerful confirmation of this card, isn't it? Because that is the karma card, and you can see there's a gathering there of people. Okay, so, and the word lineage, it's like Spirit confirming for you that you are incarnated at this time to end some sort of karmic cycle that's probably gone through your family line, okay, or your soul family line. And you are here for this. There's something really incredible happening for you the next week. And it is the beginning of you really embracing a new opportunity in your life. Some of you, this might be a new relationship, or it might be, you know, a new chapter just in how you're doing things. So, like I said, it could be money, something to do with your life purpose, but essentially the Ace of Wands is about when Spirit is actually giving you an opportunity, and you can take action on it because you are ready. You are now ready. You're preparing. So that is a good few days for Virgo there. Much more centered, and just kind of knowing that Spirit has you in the right place. It's like, oh, I'm finally understanding quite a lot of things now about, you know, why things were so hard. Things were so hard, but now there's just this higher state of consciousness for you to perceive it and not be blocked by that anymore. You know, something is ending. So going to Capricorn, and it's still quiet. Oh, it's lovely. Right, so Capricorn, for the beginning of the week ahead. Okay, boundaries you've got. Okay. And boundaries really come from knowing yourself. You know, and Capricorn's energy is all about freedom, liberation. When you're really, honestly, for Capricorn, when you're non-attached, when you have non-attachment to objects and people, like they can be in your life, but you don't have this crazy attachment to certain objects or forms, things you're doing, You know, you're not bound or addicted or obsessive, but you're just free and liberated being yourself, you know. And then it's like, wow, I mean, once you're free and liberated, then you really can have your boundaries, because there's just a natural boundary there, isn't there? So people can't, so it's like people can't manipulate you, but also you have more of a sort of like respect around yourself, more centered around yourself. So you're just free to do what you want, not so bound by expectations of people or things like that, attachments. So you've kind of realised that you've been accruing certain skills here with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is an energy of someone who's got a lot of skills and can move quickly. They're very vigilant. They notice as soon as something needs doing or something needs responding to, and you know, they've got the knowledge, they've got the skills to deal with things fast. So you've been accruing those skills. You know you've got those skills, but at times you still worry. At times you still doubt. You know, it's like the mind can attack you at times with negative thoughts about something. But it's just an illusion. It's just something karmic that the mind, unfortunately, the human mind does because of the karma we hold. And you're getting wise to that. You're getting wiser and wiser all the time. Eckhart Tolle says the awakening process is not a straight line, you know, it goes up and down. So we have wobbles along the way, right? So we make progress. We know we've got more knowledge. We know we've got more skills than we used to have at managing our life. And then sometimes the mind, the ego, because it's got momentum, it starts to bring back the negative thoughts, okay? And the negative thoughts normally arise from two parts of the ego, I find. Either the inner child part of the ego starts to bring in negative thinking and doubts, or the superego, yeah, which is the critical parent inside us. Yeah, and that's where they kind of come from. And so that, you know, you may observe that happening, and it's quite a strange phenomena when you sort of notice on the one hand the progress you're making, but then on the like the next day you might feel like you're full of doubts again. Yeah, and it's just where we're wrestling with the ego to kind of really come back into our true power, our true self. And the great thing for you, Capricorn, didn't mean to say Virgo. The great thing for you, Capricorn, is the next week you got the Justice card, okay? And the Justice card just shows that you are slaying it. In a nutshell, you're going to be slaying things the next week. It's like things are going to start going more in your favour because you're getting a better balance. You are getting a better balance between where you are now, the true self, and this false self that sometimes crops up. Like I said, the inner child stuff, the superego stuff. You're getting a better balance. You're seeing more clearly. You're making better choices. And where you're getting a better balance, making better choices, you're putting an end to this, I don't know if it's the inner child part or the superego, but some sort of part of yourself that has been always blocking you and obstructing you from just being free, you know? And the Justice card is all about cutting karmic patterns. So some kind of karmic pattern coming to a close for you, you're becoming more empowered, okay? And like the more empowered you become, obviously, the more free you can be. And for Capricorns, once you're free, attachment free, you are, you know, you could be in a relationship, or you could have, you know, certain family relationships or certain obligations, responsibilities, but there's not that attachment feeling to it, that horrible attachment feeling, which, you know, essentially doesn't make you feel very free. So that is all changing for you now. You're stepping forward in your power the next week. You're more empowered. Things are going to go in your favour. If there's legal or I don't know, just like documents or decision making going on, it should go more in your favour. Yeah, because you're getting a better grip on that ego that I'm talking about, and we want to do that because that keeps us in a lower vibration, and we need to be in the high vibration. So Spirit is basically letting you know that you're getting a much better balance the next week. You're going to be feeling more balanced. You're going to be assertive, you know, and just empowered, right? Now, the energy of people around you, this could be a particular person or it could be a situation. You know, you are still dealing with something here that is quite selfish. There's quite a selfish energy here. We've got the Queen of Wands, which is reversed, which is very selfish, unfocused. And then we've got the King of Cups, which is sort of like somebody who is narcissistic or, again, very selfish, cold energy there. Now, that could be a particular situation in your life that you've been dealing with that's not been very easy to deal with. But it could equally be a person, and it doesn't have to be a lover, but it could be just somebody who has been a bit off with you or cold. And it's just really important to remember that Spirit is just showing you sometimes other people's ego, you know, and it's not, I mean, I'm laughing, it's not very nice when you're on the receiving end of it, but it is just their ego, which will always subside, and you're coming out a winner. Okay, you are coming out a winner, so don't get too caught up in that situation or that person that's difficult at the moment. You're going to overcome it. You're going to slay it, because that was sort of my words initially. There's also somebody here saying, I know I was a distraction from your pain. So just take that however that may resonate. It could be related to that situation, or it could be something else, okay? Even something from the past, but it's just an energy there. Let's see what your spirit guides are supporting you with. Oh, it's lovely. I feel with the peace and quiet, I can focus more. It's so nice. The Return, a new story. You decide, alignment. It's all coming together. Boom. Yes, baby. Yes, Capricorn. You know, the Return. You are making a comeback now. I mean, look at that. That's powerful energy. You are making a comeback. This is a new story. You decide, alignment, and it's all coming together. Yes, this is it now. I mean, you're just going to really slay it this week, no matter what's getting thrown at you, no matter what energy is out there. Remember that everything in our reality is usually just a manifestation of old energy. So it's already on the way out anyway. You know, you're gonna beat this. You're gonna slay it. You're gonna overcome it. If it's a person, they're gonna simmer back down and get more respect for you. You know, if it's a situation, it's going to settle down. All right. So that's Capricorn. We're going to go into Aquarius. Aquarius for Monday and the week ahead. Aquarius. The Gardener. Oh, I like this card. It's cute. It's really lovely. So, lovely, peaceful energy, tending to your garden. Yeah, and that always got to start off with yourself. Even though I know Aquarius, I've got Aquarius in my chart, and we do tend to think about the bigger picture all the time. And it can often be that we're sort of wanting to be part of a community, or always thinking about the environment around us. But it starts off with self first. You are getting better this week at tending to yourself more. There may be some information coming out that's enabling that as well. I mean, the more we tend to ourselves, the more gets revealed. Because Spirit works more with us. The more we tend to ourselves, the more Spirit will work with us. When I say tend to ourselves, the true self, not the worries, not the fears, because that's ego, isn't it? That's the false self. But when we're tending to ourselves. So, I mean, Spirit is showing here with the Queen of Cups reversed that you were a bit out of tune with yourself. I hope you don't mind me saying. I know I was. A bit out of tune with yourself, and it's like you were blocked. You may have even sort of had a bit of a block here in the heart chakra, you know, because of fear, you know, the ego. Inner child stuff, really. Yeah, inner child stuff. Fears, worries, not feeling like you're getting the love you deserve. So it was sort of like maybe you were out of tune with yourself, you weren't tending to yourself enough. But the next week, look at this, 6 of Wands, success. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Spirit is saying, yes, you're doing much better now. You know, you are being your true self. You're realising a lot of things at the moment about yourself. Something could really go quite well for you the next week, and that's going to be fantastic. It's like, it is like Spirit saying, well done, Aquarius, really, because you're getting on top of everything, okay? You're making a breakthrough, really, about looking after yourself. And the energy of people around you, or a situation, there has been some sort of situation here that's not been very helpful. I say a situation, it could be a person, but it's like a unhelpful energy. It's lack of honesty, it's false self, okay, it's ego. But they've got the Hangman, okay? There's the Hangman here, which is awakening. There could be a delay or a pause with something. And the reason for it is that Spirit sees ego needs to be killed off, all right? And ego can be working through anything. It doesn't have to just be a person. It could be working through a situation in your life, or, you know, even an organisation. Organisations are full of ego, you know? So there's a delay with something, but it looks like it's because Spirit is trying to break down at ego. So as much as you might feel like, oh, that's frustrating, waiting to have progress with something or someone, that ego within that situation has got to be broken down before Spirit will let it proceed. All right? Let's have a look at what your person's thinking. Somebody's saying, I wish things could be different. I mean, you just tune into who that may be saying that. It could be someone from the past. It could be that energy there that I was talking about that's egoic. So let's see what your spirit guides are supporting you with. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship and harmony. So, and I think that's a lovely card to get with this gardener card, because, you know, harmony, you know, and the garden looks so harmonious, doesn't it? So I'll hold that up because the writing's so small. Sorry, my hand shakes a bit. I'm not the most sturdy person. Right, alignment, flow, right relationship and harmony. So you're getting much more in tune with yourself. You know, it's a gradual process, getting in tune with ourselves. It's not easy because realistically, you know, we're coming into this lifetime with a lot of karma. So it's a lot of work. But there's some breakthroughs for you at the moment. There is a real breakthrough the next week. And you're going to be realising that, oh, you know, I am coming into a better alignment. Spirit is kind of making your relationships become more harmonious and aligned. So there could be a relationship headed your way, or a relationship improving gradually. But there is patience required at the moment for you, okay, with that Hangman. So, but it's patience in a good way, because we'd much rather manifest things that don't have ego. You know, the thing is, the ego always wants everything quick, quick, quick. But, you know, we don't really want to manifest things that have got ego, do we? So that's why they say patience is a virtue, because it's just this, it's the spiritual energy is patience. Because it doesn't, you know, if something's being brought through from spirit, it's usually a bit slower. I mean, it can be fast, but it can be fast when it finally materialises, but you can wait years for it to happen. I don't know. So, so yeah, it's a night. It really does look like it's going to be a good week for you, Aquarius, and you'll be appreciating a lot of things that are coming together for you. and probably just realising that actually, yeah, I can be patient with a situation because I can see it's going to lead to better things ultimately, you know. So we go into the Lovers card. I'm going slowly today, I think, because I'm so happy. Because I'm so happy it's peaceful. I can feel the energy just more slow and calm. It's lovely. Right. Resolving conflict. Wow. Okay, so Gemini. That's a beautiful card for Gemini to have, because when we've got Geminis in our charts, not Geminis, when we've got Gemini in our chart, we can get very conflicted, okay? It's the nature of Gemini because of the fact that you've got the twins, as they say. So it's the Lovers cards in the tarot. So it's nice because the next week you should start to feel more centered about something and less conflicted about something, you know, and that's really good, because once you transcend all conflicts, then you're really in the flow. Sometimes it really isn't about choosing one way or choosing another or trying to resolve something. It's actually just about realizing I don't need to even worry about it in the first place. Just leave it to God, you know. And then once you transcend all conflicts, you're in your true Gemini energy. Let's see what else we're getting. Oh, wow. You've got the Star, which really does show that you've made some breakthroughs lately. You're now headed towards your wishes fulfilled, okay? Finally, right? Whatever they may be, it's going to be different for all of us, but you are now headed towards your wishes fulfilled. You're coming from truth in your life more and more every day, you know? And that's not easy, because the ego has got momentum and it always wants to pull us into the false self. But it's every day remembering, and this is what I feel you've been doing, every day remembering, well, this is my truth, this is what I've got to do now, you know, I've got to honour my truth. And obviously our truth is always evolving and changing as well, but on every given day, it's just like, yeah, I'm being authentic, and it's great. The Star, you're headed towards your wishes fulfilled. You've broken down a lot of karma, you've broken down a lot of ego, and Spirit's saying you're now on the right track. The only thing you might have to deal with is the shadow side here the next week, because now the shadow side, again, it's just the ego. The thing with the nature of the ego is that you can make breakthroughs and you can make really good progress, and then you feel like you're going backwards again, but you're not really. It's just where the false self, the ego, is sometimes trying to fight back, because it can see that we're evolving to higher energies, and it doesn't want us to, you know. It's old karmic energy that wants to, unfortunately, it wants to stay alive inside us. So it will sometimes fight back, and you might purge a bit this week, or you might feel like, God, how can I be doing so well and being so headed in the right direction, and then I can feel doubts coming in, or you know, whatever it may be, like just stuff that's not really what I want to think about or feel. But it's nothing to worry about. It's just part of our spiritual journey, is to just keep staying centered on your star. Keep staying centered on your truth, and don't worry if you're getting doubts or fears cropping up, because you've just got to ignore them and slay them at every turn, okay? You know, this is what we're here to do. This is the work we're here to do. You know, do not let anything put you asunder, okay? You are the light. So you're centered now. You're strong enough to do this now, Gemini. You're strong enough to do this, and you can transcend all conflict within yourself and stay centered now. Your person or your situation, your person or your situation is a bit challenged this week at times, or they've been challenged. They've got the Ten of Wands. there is something they're resistant to dropping. It kind of dropped into the challenge position as I put the card down. The Ten of Wands is all about dropping a habit, you know, that you've got. It's not you, it's somebody else. They need to drop a habit, something they're doing, and they're quite resistant to doing that. It's probably their ego. They're resistant to dropping their ego. I think you've got to the point where you know you just want to be real. Do you know what I mean? And but your person probably struggles with that a bit more than you. But weirdly, they've got the Empress, okay? So there's a new beginning here. So it's either a person or it's a situation, because this even could just be a situation in your life that's been very challenging and obstructive. But with the Empress card, there's something shifting here this week. So you could get some good news, or you could even just sense that something is improving this week, okay? That you're... And it's quite divine. This is definitely spirit flowing through here this week in your life, okay? Because the Empress is a very divine energy. It could be somebody starting to accept you, or a situation finally accepting you, if that makes sense, okay? Because the Empress card is about acceptance. And look at this, it's time for me to heal now. So take that however that resonates. That could be coming from anything or anyone, but it's time for me to heal now. So something healing, something is changing for the better. After being very obstructive. Your spirit guides, you've got here whispers of the Mother Earth. Okay, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Yeah, now that's interesting, because whispers of Mother Earth, and you've got the Empress card. Huh? And I said to you, there's a very divine energy flowing through here for you, Gemini, this week. And that is very true, because your spirit guides are actually helping you to channel information or creativity, ideas, inspiration. Okay? So this could be a very, very interesting week for you, because you're getting so much more clarity. You're not going to allow any doubts or fears to obstruct you this week. You're really in the flow. You're in a divine flow this week, and you're going to be channeling a lot of higher wisdom, which will obviously help you on your journey. It will help you massively in your work, in your life purpose, or in your personal development, or in your relationship even. It feels like something is starting to open up for you. So you could be on the verge of receiving good news or noticing good things. Okay. Nice. We like that one. Oh dear. Right, we're going to go into Libra. I think this is the slowest zodiac reading I've done for weeks, because it's so super quiet. Right, so Libra. Let's see what's going on for the next week. Abundance. Ooh, very nice. That is beautiful. We like a bit of abundance, don't we? Now, abundance is really divine, because the true abundance comes straight from source. That's why it's so important that we don't keep dipping into the false self. And I do laugh when I say it, because, you know, I'm very honest, and I'll say I dip into the false self all the time, because, you know, geez, you know, it's very difficult to get out of that habit. The false self is just full of our inner child worries, yeah, and sort of addictions, and, you know, wanting love. And then the superego, which is sort of the critical parent. Either we're criticising ourselves, we're criticising our life, criticising others. And that's what's responsible really for all the mind activity that we get, all the thoughts. Most of them are either inner child thoughts or superego thoughts. that's a massive obstruction from source, right? So we don't want to obstruct abundance. So there's a shift going on here, Libra. You're becoming more centered in yourself to get that abundance card. You're definitely moving into a higher vibration. You're moving closer to source. So you must be ignoring a lot of those inner child fears and the inner child neediness. You know that's not you. Any critical thoughts in the superego, that's not you, and you're really like, therefore, when we recognize what we're not, we're able to just be centered in the self, right? Like this beautiful quartz crystal. We're not obstructing it with anything, and that's going to bring the abundance through. So you're doing a lot of good work at the moment, Libra, to get that card. Let's see what else we're getting. Powerful, very powerful energy this week for you. You've got the Hermit. You've done really well lately at not intervening so much with the higher plan. Sometimes we don't like God's plan that we're experiencing at the moment, because we sort of think, oh, there's loads of things wrong with it. And that seriously triggers the inner child, doesn't it? And it seriously triggers the superego. But you've been learning to just observe things and become more accepting, more in the flow, more balanced. Libra energy, and it's like, it is about balance for Libra. So just for observing everything and learning not to intervene with it, you've been becoming more balanced, less reactive, more balanced. And so you are actually embodying your true Libra energy more and more. Once you do that, then you're onto a winner, really. And you've got the King of Swords this week, which means that you've just got such clarity now. You can see very clearly. You've got two cards about seeing, because the Hermit and the King of Swords are both about seeing from a higher perspective. The King of Swords makes good judgments, that are wise, You'll see him much more clearly the next week. Nobody can really manipulate you at this point. And, you're just not entertaining anything in your own mind that is low vibe. So you're just slaying it. You could be making a decision over the next week, or you could just be feeling much more clear-headed about something. The energy around you is really, really good the next week as well. There's a cycle coming to an end with the World card. That's a major completion. Somebody you're connected to or a situation had to go through some sort of weird journey, okay? Some sort of weird karma they had to pay off or whatever. And that's sort of finally come to an end. And Page of Cups, new beginning, a happy new beginning, a time to explore, a time to rejuvenate, a time to embrace love and spirituality. Somebody that is maybe here to help you, okay? And it could be a child, or it could be somebody that has that childlike quality to them. They've got their own inner child, but this is like a journey for their inner child to be happy. Or it could just be a situation that's just now going to become it's going to become new, renewed. There's a new situation here, and it's a new beginning, very happy. And somehow this situation or person is here to help you. Let's have a look at what your person's thinking. I left you before you could leave me. I mean, that is very like ego, isn't it? So this is obviously coming from the past, somebody who was frightened, perhaps somebody who was struggling, but there is definitely an ending there with that. There's something coming to completion and a renewal. There's a lot of good things happening here over the next week for Libra. You're not getting so involved in conflicts or dramas or even a drama in your own head. You're becoming in your mastery. And when you're in your mastery, you're tapping into source, you're becoming more abundant all the time. You know, your money, your life purpose, your relationships, everything in your life picking up right now. And something happening for you here that's going to help you. It's either a person or a situation. And it's going to be fulfilling for you. It's the beginning of something much more fulfilling. Oh, this is amazing. Your spirit guides held. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support and community. Freaking hell. Isn't that mad? Because that Page of Cups is about somebody who's here to help you in some way, okay? So, or something here to help you. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. Spirit is holding you. Spirit is helping you. They're helping you maintain this higher vibration now to where you are. So, looks like this week you could get rewarded in some sort of way with that abundance card. Okay. So we're going to go into Leo. I think this is the longest Zodiac video I've ever done. Just enjoying it because it's so quiet. Okay, Leo. Oh, Divine Feminine. That's beautiful. That's a great card for you to get. That means that this week you're really learning acceptance and flow. The Divine Feminine energy is so close to Spirit. It's a very challenging energy to be in the Divine Feminine because we tend to when we get into the Divine Feminine energy, we're basically, we're coming closer to source, but it also means we're coming closer to the inner child. So that's why we tend to feel more purging going on. So it can be quite a challenging thing because the emotions can be quite extreme. But the good side of it is that you're closer to Spirit and you're more accepting of things, and you're more open to receiving what's really meant for you, you see. So this is good. It's a good sign that something's coming your way at the moment that is meant for you. You've got here the Tower card. Don't panic. Don't panic. I like the Tower card. I mean, something has shocked you recently. Someone or something may have shocked you recently, and it's a bit like, oh, you know, it's quite an eye-opener. Yeah, it's like your eyes have been opened or something like that, because the Tower card's all about truth and a bit of a shock. But it helps you understand your truth, because when you can see it something really clearly, then you can just basically then obviously be in your truth. Now you have got the Two of Swords, which is a card of sort of like fear. And it's kind of like, you know, there may be a part of you that's a bit triggered at times the next week, because maybe there's a part of you that doesn't want to see something, but you just have to remind yourself that it's just the ego that doesn't want to see something, or is feeling scared or blocked. And it could either be, I find it either comes from the inner child part of the ego that's frightened, wants love, can be scared, can be needy, or it's coming from the superego, which is the more critical part of the ego, and it either criticizes our lives, tells us we're not doing the right thing, criticizes other people. See what I mean? So I usually find it's coming from one of those places within ourselves, within the ego. So I feel you're going to work through this, whatever it is that's caused you a bit of an obstruction. Whatever's it causing you a bit of an obstruction at the moment, or a shock, or you're just going to be able to flow through it, you know, and just realise it's not really for you to micromanage and worry about, you know. Just transcend it and let spirit deal with it. And I think that's what you're going to do, because you've got that divine feminine card, which means you do understand, because everything that's happening, spirit knows what you need to spiritually evolve. So spirit's tailor making your life. That's what Michael James, who does a lot of work with, well, he does all Ramana Maharishi's translations. Michael James, you can look his YouTube channel up. It's the Ramana Maharshi Teachings channel. And he explains, you know, that it is just all about transcending those conflicts within ourselves, you know. And I feel that's what you're doing. It's like, actually, it's not for me. I am not the doer. Spirit is the doer of my life. So although something may be a bit shocking, and at times I can notice there's a part of my ego that's resisting what's going on, ultimately, I'm now in the flow, and I'm not going to let that obstruct me or frighten me or worry me anymore. Just going to flow with what spirit's bringing me. Let's have a look at what your person's thinking. Yeah, you've got somebody here with the King of Pentacles energy. So this could be a person or a situation. There's a very solid opportunity here for you that is freaking amazing. It's freaking amazing. This is like everything that you could ever want. Okay? This is everything you could ever want, really. But there is confusion there, or doubts, or worries. Too much, or fantasies. There's too much mind activity. So if it's a situation, Leo, I would just say to you, this situation is meant for you. And you're just going to have to slay a few demons to just keep going forward, you know? And if this is a person, I'd say they don't need to worry or overthink things, because this is totally aligned for you. All right? It's just, I think you know now this is the path for you, with that divine feminine energy. And like I said, it is, being in the divine feminine is triggering. That was the first thing I said, because it's where we feel everything more. But you're going through deeper purging. You're becoming much more spiritual now. When I say much more spiritual, I just mean more of the higher vibration. Somebody saying, I will wait for a sign from you. Okay, so take that however that resonates. That could be anything or anyone. Okay, let's have a look at what's your spirit guide supporting you with. Healing is happening. You are not broken. Trust the process. It is safe to soften. Freaking hell. These cards are just totally... So if you can read that, because the writing is quite small. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. And that's exactly what the divine feminine is. Divine feminine energy is. Quite a tongue twister, that. It's very soft. Actually, the Tao, I don't follow the Tao, but that's all about being like water. You know, it's just the more soft and gentle we are in the divine feminine energy. It's very humble energy. It's just the most spiritual energy, really, that we can feel, apart from the I am presence, of course. But it's the divine feminine energy is close, very close to I am presence. So you're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. What they're saying is there is something happening for you. It is very big. It may cause you to feel doubted or obstructed at times, or whatever, triggered, but this is meant for you. And the more soft you are, the more humble you are, the more accepting you are, just flowing with it. And I think that's what you're going to do. I think you're going to feel supported the next week. I think you're going to feel very supported the next week to just flow with this situation in your life or this person. All right? Because this is meant for you. Right, we go into Aries next. Just a bit of my tea. What are we at now? An hour. Normally, I don't get to an hour until Scorpio, so I'm going over time. It doesn't matter. Oh, see, that's my super ego coming in there. You just observe it. Whenever you see it cropping up, you just observe it and you just say, oh, that's my super ego. It's not me. Because you just want to start separating yourself out from it. Then just ignore it. Okay, so compatibility. You've got here, Aries. You are compatible with something or someone. You're becoming compatible. That's nice. Confirmation. There's a new beginning here for you. There could be that you're attracted to somebody or they're attracted to you. But also this could just be about you being more excited again. More excited and happy. Okay, this is quite recent. It's quite recent occurrence in your life. Yeah, it's sort of like, wow, feeling more invigorated and more excited. It's like feeling more aligned to the things you're doing, and like you can be more enthusiastic again about the things you're doing. There's a sort of playful energy there, you know. And the next week you're just walking further and further away from the unhappiness. If there was an unhappy chapter that you've gone through, you know, you're just walking away from that time, really. You're moving into the light, and the next sort of 2 to 4 weeks, more gets revealed. I say the next 2 weeks, really. So that's interesting as well. Okay, so there's somebody connected to you or a situation that's been a bit indecisive or confusing, right? You got the Lovers card, which is basically representing mystery. Yeah, you haven't known the answer to this relationship, or you haven't known the answer to this situation. It might not be a relationship. You've just been sort of thinking, God, you know, what the hell, what's going on, what's going to happen? And also it could represent indecision, you know, within a situation or a person. Because we've also got the 2 of Wands, which again is indecisive type of energy. And it's all about this situation or this person really getting to know themselves, or really getting aligned to the centre point. It's got to come into alignment. I mean, you know, I think for you now, you know what you're doing. You know, sort of, you've made a breakthrough recently about who you are and where you're going and what you're doing with that Ace of Wands, okay? You sort of made your choice. And so you're just moving on nicely. But there's somebody here connected to you or a situation that still needs to delve a bit deeper into the true self, or come out of ego energy, because a situation in your life could be an ego energy, or has been an ego energy, and that situation's just gonna, you know, it's still just got to work through a bit more of that and come more into the truth. But there's compatibility here. You're compatible with a situation or a person. You're totally compatible. This is exactly where you are meant to be, and it's exactly what you're meant to be doing. And you know that now. You know, you're more rational. I mean, you're the Emperor in the tarot, aren't you? So, you know, you're here to transcend the ego, transcend the inner child stuff, the doubts, the fears, the neediness, whatever. You're here to transcend all that. You know, you're here to transcend the conflicted mind and the inner critical voice. You're here to be the Emperor. You're here to lead. You're here to just transcend all those things and choose your path and move wisely, you know, and with wisdom, not getting drawn into people who are indecisive or conflicted. They need to figure something out, you know. This situation or this person needs to figure something out. Look at that. There's avoidance. There is avoidance. I bury myself in work to forget you. I mean, that can just be symbolic. It doesn't mean they're actually working. But there's a situation that's kind of, it's not come to harmony yet properly because there's ego around it. And that needs to be resolved first. That's got to be broken down before that situation will resolve. You know? But you already have resolved stuff. You know your truth. You know your path. You're moving along it really nicely. That's interesting. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. Because you've got the compatibility card. Returning to each other, compatibility. You are very compatible with something or someone in your life. And Spirit is bringing you together with this situation. And you know where you're headed. You know what you're doing. This is meant for you. So they're helping you to have compassion and patience at this time. Okay. And you have got as well, healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. So they're reassuring you that, you know, you can trust the process now. This is all meant to be happening. And they're saying you're following your path more in a more focused way and not letting that situation or person upset you the next week. You know, and that situation or person, that will, Spirit will be dealing with that, you know, because Spirit doesn't abide ego. So that will somehow get resolved in the end. But you're doing very nicely the next week. It's like you can just follow your intuition now, okay? That's the confirmation. Follow where your intuition is taking you right now and ignore the rest. Okay, so we're going to Sagittarius. And it's still quiet. I sort of keep thinking, you know, I shouldn't speak too soon, really, because that's, you know, I can't project because I don't know what Spirit might do next. Oh, dear. It's just divine, though, because you just feel so much closer to Spirit when it's peaceful. It's a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to connect to Spirit when it's peaceful and quiet. So, Sagittarius. Oh, you've got 3 cards. I don't normally read 3, but if they've all come out, 2 of them are stuck together. You've got the Rainbow Reviver, which I love. So that's nice. Rainbow after the storm. You've been for a storm, but you're into the rainbow part now. It's early days still. Might still be a bit, you know, it might still be a bit tough, or it might still be a bit rainy, but the rainbow's there. Things are starting to clear up for you this week. You're in manifestation mode this week. And my God, check you out, Sag. You've got the maturity card as well. You know, and that's what we really want to get to, because maturity is our mastery, to always choose the consciousness rather than choose the ego. Because we've always got that conscious choice. Do we choose to be in the consciousness and just allow what's happening to be happening. Because it doesn't matter what's going on in physical reality. All that matters is keeping our energy in the right place. You know, and do we choose that, or do we allow the ego to overpower us and sort of pull us down into the pain body and, you know, the inner child stuff or the superego critical stuff? Or are we able to be maturing in our mastery and stay centered in consciousness and just be like the neutral observer? just keep cracking on doing what we need to do. So that's a good card. So all the storms you've been through lately are leading you to this level of mastery. Can you imagine? And that is going to be amazing because, you know, you're in this level of mastery now, and that means then you can manifest things like nobody's business, you know, because we have to be in that heightened state for that manifestation, don't we? So let's see what else we're getting. So that's a great card, because I don't think I've seen that maturity card before either. So it's confirmation that it's been worth going through the bloody challenges that you've been going through lately, Sagittarius, you know. You are achieving more balance here through the breakthroughs that you're having. Remember, you're the Temperance card in the tarot, so it is all about you balancing everything out in your life. Always being balanced between the spiritual and the physical. Having a balance there is very important for you. When you get that right, everything starts happening for you. Everything starts manifesting. You've got here the Ace of Swords. So you've been having a lot of breakthroughs lately. And although those breakthroughs may have been a bit stormy and a bit tough, yeah, they're leading you to your spiritual maturity. And look at this the next week, Four of Wands. Solid foundation. You could be doing something connected to a home, visiting somebody at home, sorting out your own home, feeling just a lot more like you are centered in your true self. And you can notice when the inner child stuff's coming up, but you know essentially that's not you. Or when the superego is kicking off and you're feeling critical or grumpy or whatever. Again, you know that's not you. You're just observing all of that, and you've got a more solid foundation in your true self. You could be quite a secure home for somebody else. Take that however that resonates, all right? You're a solid prospect for somebody, perhaps, at this time. Somebody could be, you know, like you could be feeling ready to commit yourself to something. Somebody's coming out of the darkness into the light. They were getting triggered a lot, and Spirit was really encouraging this person to stay more still and be less reactive. They've got the moon reversed, so they're starting to learn to be more calm. Okay. They're learning to wait and just be a bit more a bit more calm, really. At times it's still a bit of a slippery slope for this person or situation, because there's the Five of Cups. I mean, what could be happening here is, if it's a situation in your life, there's been a lot of mystery and you haven't really known the answers of how this situation was going to unfold. At times you may still over the next week feel a bit challenged by it and a bit disappointed at times, but Spirit is saying to you, just ignore that. You're more centered in yourself, in yourself now than ever. You're more in your maturity now more than ever. So even if there's still some disappointments from a particular person or a situation, on the whole, this situation or person is coming more to light. There's more clarity, okay, coming this week. It's going to feel calmer. It's going to feel better on the whole. So try not to get drawn into any drama or negative thinking about it, because the road ahead looks better, okay? Let's see what your person's thinking. Ah, that is the cutest card. I don't know if this ever's come out. I love you. How cute. See? So, Spirit is rewarding you the next week. Something's coming together for you. Something's coming together for you, but it is so early days that you may at times question it. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion and humanity. Try and hold that up close because it's quite small writing. Okay, so yeah, Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. Something is really bedding down now within you energetically. You are really coming out the other side of something here and rebuilding things very nicely. Spirit is helping you to return to your true self after a difficult time, to just know that things are starting to manifest for you in a very beautiful way. Okay, maybe love, maybe your home, maybe your life purpose, probably all of those things coming together for you. Okay, so we'll go into Scorpio. So let's see what we get for Scorpio. Monday and the week ahead. Okay, oh, you've got divine masculine energy. Okay, interesting. That's very interesting. You might get a real burst of action this week and find yourself much more motivated and able to produce and to do. Okay, it's a doing card. There could be a divine masculine energy around you that's much more in their power than they were previously. We have to be a bit mindful of the divine masculine energy. The masculine energy can suppress things a bit, but this does look good, I have to say, because it looks like there could be some real progress taking place in your life. We'll see what the other cards come out with. Okay, so there's something that you've been indecisive about. It's like you weren't able to make a choice. You were struggling to get a balance. You were just like not sure, weighing things up, trying to make a decision. What's going on this week? You've got the Six of Cups. So that is really getting in touch with love. Six of Cups is a really pure, beautiful energy. You know, it's like you are falling in love with something again that you previously did love, you know, and that's why you're able to make a lot of progress at this time, you know, and it could be to do with a relationship and that you're seeing the more beautiful sides of that relationship, or it could be someone from the past returning, or it could actually be, like, I want to say most importantly, it's like something that you like doing that you found hard to connect with, or you found it hard to be productive with, and you're sort of, because you're falling in love with it again, because you're falling in love with yourself, you're able to now really action something, you know, and you're really able to start producing more work or make more progress with something this week because you're really loving something again, you know. So there's a move away from a bit of a stuck energy, and it looks like there's going to be a lot more progress the next week because you're basically happier. Okay, so that's in a nutshell what they're showing me. You are happier, so you are progressing and moving forward more. There's a situation here, we've got the Moon and the Five of Cups. There's a situation here that's been very mysterious and maybe a bit depressing or triggering at times, but it does look like things will get easier now. You've just got to be careful not to get too disappointed or triggered, because it looks like things will actually get better, but it could still be triggering at times. I'm going to pick you another two cards. End of conflict, yeah, same sort of energy really. There is the end of conflict here. There's the end of a challenging time in a situation or a relationship. Both sets of cards are saying the same thing. So that is very good news, isn't it? The end of a time where things have been challenging, mysterious, triggering. It's a new beginning now. You know, it's a new beginning. It's more aligned. It's getting in more alignment. It might still be early days for this situation to be moving into alignment. It could be your life generally, or it could be a relationship or a particular situation in your life. And it's early days that it's starting to improve. So hang in there, because Spirit is definitely showing me that this is improving now. And on top of that, you're feeling better in yourself, you're loving life more, you're connecting with yourself more than ever. So you're starting to feel more productive, and you're able to make much better progress because you're happier. So let's just see what your person's thinking. I've got my dog sitting under my feet and it's really uncomfortable. Oh dear, sorry, but I broke my toe in the summer, and so where he's sitting, I'm having to bend that toe back. So I'll just move my legs. What do they say? It's a struggle. I can't remember what they say. Right. I can't stop thinking about you. There could be somebody with masculine energy that thinks about you a lot. It doesn't have to be a woman. It could be any gender or sexuality. But there could be somebody that thinks about you a lot. But also, I mean, because there could be somebody that's been very conflicted about you. But they're starting to realise something's shifting with that. But if it's a situation and it's not to do with a relationship, like I said, there's something here that is going to start moving forward now. It's the very beginning of this situation moving forward, but it feels very much it's meant to move forward now. Okay, let's have a look at your spirit guides and what they're helping you with. Oh my God, that card keeps coming out. Returning to each other, compassion, humanity, the Mother Rose. You've got more compassion for yourself. Spirit's helping you to have more compassion for yourself, more humanity towards yourself. You know, to feel more love for yourself. You're returning to yourself. You're therefore really this week noticing how much you're feeling more free with something. Something's going to be much easier for you to do this week. It's going to be becoming much more easier. You're going to get much more progress on something you're working on, and it's like you're being looked after by Spirit to return to doing something that you love, or, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's like having a renewed energy for something, or something really finally starting to progress. All right, so it's really good. It's really good for you, Scorpio, this week. And like, if you know, you might sometimes think, oh, it's not happening quick enough, or but Spirit's saying, look, you know, it's early days. It's on the right track now. Things that you're going to start getting more signs now that what you're working towards is actually building, you know. So we're going to go into Pisces next. My tea now is officially cold. I'm thinking of getting a new cup with a lid on it so that it doesn't do that, because it's not very nice when it goes cold. Oh dear, I just really need a drink by the end of the reading. I always say I could go and get up quickly and get one, but it just, I don't know. I don't really like getting up from the desk once I'm doing the work. So this is Pisces then, all right? For the week ahead. Oh, this is an exciting card to get. Sexual freedom. So the sexual freedom, it could literally be somebody connected to you, or you, if it is, very nice. But the sexual energy is obviously coming from sacral chakra. That is sort of very, like, it's responsible for creation. So that can even mean obviously creating different things the next week. Your life becoming more creative, like something starting to manifest for you. And also, you could also be getting a lot of realizations, a lot of information from Spirit the next week. see what else we're getting. Got my lights on today, it's so dark. Okay, the Emperor. So you've learned to be more rational lately, you know, which is very good. You've started to get more mastery over yourself. Not an easy thing to do for any of us. So you've been able to sort of pull back from any sort of like inner child stuff. The inner child stuff in the ego is like all the fears or like neediness. It's not who we are. It's just inner child ego. Or there could be super ego, which is like the critical stuff, like critical parent inside us. Like we're always criticizing ourselves, or we tend to pick holes in stuff in our life, pick holes in people. So it's like recently you've been able to pull back from those types of energies within yourself and just be more rational and more practical and just stay on task, which is why the Emperor is the father of the tarot, because like he just bosses it basically. He doesn't let his ego freaking run rings around him, and he's just on it. Yeah, so you've become very focused lately, Pisces, on something or how you're dealing with something. And the next week you've got the Fool card. It's kind of like more exciting for you this week. It's more exciting because you sense yourself, you know, embracing a new chapter, trying something new, trying a new approach. You also sense yourself as being quite free. You know, you're free from those inner child negative thoughts or super ego worries. You're free. You're free to just be you, live in the present moment, live your life, explore your sexuality or explore the downloads you're getting from spirit. Be creative in your life. I mean, that is just total Pisces energy, isn't it? You know, and just embrace the unknown. You know, you're the moon in the tarot. So embracing the unknown and just really flowing with it. So this week could be really exciting for you, but it's getting exciting because of the fact that you've actually been doing some hard work lately. You know, you've been growing up. Well done. You've been moving forward. So the energy of the person around you, 9 of Cups to the 5 of Swords. There's somebody here or a situation that is sort of like it's a bit selfish, all right? But not in a nasty way necessarily. It's just somebody that has all their resources. They're really doing quite nicely, thank you. I'm doing pretty good. So you know, it's somebody that's probably quite talented, or they're really in quite a good position. They can be a bit cold at times with the 5 of Swords, or a bit too strategic at times, and they kind of need to be a bit more in touch with the heart, maybe. It feels like they want to protect themselves. It feels like they want to make sure they're not getting involved in drama, which is obviously wise. I mean, so there's a lot of good things to this person, but, you know, maybe they need to relax a bit and share a bit more. If it's not to do with the person and you're kind of just thinking about a situation that you are, you know, that's improving for you now and you're kind of feeling more free with it and more creative, you know, there is a situation, there's an energy here that it looks good. It does look good. But you sort of just, I would say, timing. I would say to you, timing, that there's a situation here that looks good for you at the right time. Or it's this person. And that the timing might not be right exactly now, but it does look like the timing will happen, and it's not too far away from happening. Okay. the most best thing you could do at this time, Spirit is saying, is just focus on yourself, you know, and staying focused and doing, you know, doing what makes you feel free and creative. Keep doing that, and this situation will probably evolve. Somebody saying it's time for me to heal now. So yeah, there's a situation that needs healing, a bit more healing. Like I said, the timing's not quite right there. It's not like I'm saying you've got to abort that situation, like stop that situation. I'm not saying you've got to stop it. What I'm saying is it's like redirect your energy into you and your focus, which is exactly what I think you're doing. I think that's what you're doing anyway, and you're doing very nicely at it, you know. And you're actually finally excited because you can see much more clearly what you do want to focus on, and you're going to bloody well enjoy yourself this week. You know, and that other person or that situation, I think, you know, at the right time it's going to evolve, you know, but there's just still a bit more work for it to come into fruition, if you like. So let's see what your spirit guides are helping you with. After the rain, that's good. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, and acceptance. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, that ties in very well with the Emperor energy, because the Emperor's dealt, I mean, the Emperor goes into the freaking war, you know, he goes into the battle zone. It doesn't matter what gender or sexuality you are, yeah, but that's what you've had to do. You've had to face your demons, you've had to look your demons in the eye, you've had to go onto the battlefield. And you've come out of it a more rational, mature person that is able to stay focused on your path, not let people who are selfish or whatever obstruct you, and just keep staying on your course, which is Pisces, creation, intuition, blah, 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 you know. After the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, is over, acceptance. So your spirit guides are helping you this week to be free. It's all about freedom this week. It's all about you just being creative, feeling like you're getting information from spirit, feeling pleased that you finally can be rational in yourself and, you know, just be you. Not get so drawn into other situations that are, you know, not get so affected by other situations or people that obviously have got their own things to deal with still. Because it just looks like there's people around you that still have stuff to deal with. Let them deal with it then. That doesn't really have to affect you. It may in some ways have repercussions on you, but it doesn't really have to obstruct you because you're in your power. You know, and that's what spirit is saying. So this week's all about freedom, hope, relief, you know. So yeah, it's lining up to be a good week for you energetically. And you know, you could also be discovering a lot of new things this week that you really like. You know, and the thing is, the more free you become, I mean, you've got the Emperor to the full. You know, you're rational and you're focused in your power with the Emperor. And with the Fool, you're free to explore and create. I mean, you become quite a powerful energy. And you become a very attractive energy when you're living like that. You know? So that situation that's not quite ready yet, I see that should shift. You know, it should shift. Because what's that personal situation going to get out of digging their heels in? Because that's what it looks like they're doing a bit at the moment. They're not going to get very much out of that. You know, so eventually, like Spirit says, it's time for me to heal now. That situation's got to heal. Yeah, that situational person's got to heal because they're not going to get very much out of what they're doing. Meanwhile, you're just expanding. You're just expanding anyway, regardless. So, yeah, I think that situation will shift. Okay, we'll go into Cancer then. Cancer for this soul fan for Monday and the week ahead. Get into our Empress energy, shall we? Okay, compatibility. Oh, blimey. I just shuffled that quite a few times and it still came out. We had that card earlier. I mean, it doesn't matter because it must be for us. There's a situation that is just so compatible for you, and all areas of your life are now moving into more compatibility. All the things that have been destined for you the whole time, you are now drawing towards you, Cancer, this week. And it's the realisation of that. Freaking hell, the card underneath. See, Spirit made me pick another card. Spiritual maturity. And I keep talking about, if you've been watching the whole video, I keep talking about spiritual maturity because that's what this soul family is all about. Moving into our spiritual maturity, which is the ability to stay conscious even when we're triggered, in a nutshell. To consciously choose not to be the false self, but to keep choosing the higher true self. You know, something's meant for you, something's coming that is meant for you with the spiritual maturity card and the compatibility card. Things are lining up for you this week. Things are lining up for you because you're more in your spiritual maturity, you know. You're more accepting now than ever of your true self. And more accepting now of what Spirit is doing with your life. And it doesn't matter what's going on around you, you're able to stay in your alignment. You're able to stay in a more conscious state no matter what ego you see in other people around you. Oh, blimey. I mean, the Two of Swords shows that we have, as a soul family, Cancerians, we found things difficult for a while. We have felt blocked and confused about something, but it was just trying to obstruct us, really. It's like a game, you know, it was like a game in our own head, to get caught up in drama, like in the minds, because the swords are all about the mind, you know, and twos are dilemmas. Do you see? And that's what the ego does. It creates dilemmas in our head all the time to keep us in a state of conflict so that we just completely get obstructed from just being our true powerful self. But I feel like you're blowing that to smithereens with the Tower card this week. That you're going to have a very big breakthrough this week, and it could be quite shocking or surprising what a breakthrough you finally have about something. But it's like a total wake-up call, you know? It's like, wow. You know, I don't need to be conflicted over this anymore. I can just give it all to Spirit and just focus on being my higher consciousness self. You know, let them sort their ego out. That doesn't matter. You know, what does the Empress do? She's the mother of the tarot, so she's going to let all her children do whatever they're doing, but she's not going to get out of alignment with God, is she? Because she's the Empress. She's the mother of the tarot. She's right up the top of the tree of life. You know, that's true Cancerian energy, when we can stay in our loving heart chakra, you know, no matter what's going on around us, and not be frightened or drawn into this constant conflict in our heart, or, well, it's not in the heart. The conflict's never in the heart, in the head. So you're having a wake-up call and a lot of realizations this week, that you just don't need to be worried about something anymore, I feel. You're not worried about it. You're not going to keep getting drawn into a conflict over it anymore. You know the truth. And you're seeing the old pattern you was hooked into, and you don't really want to be in that old pattern anymore. You've got no time for it. You're realising you're in your spiritual maturity. And you can just stay aligned to this beautiful energy of Spirit, no matter what's going on around you, because Spirit is bringing you everything that you are compatible with. Once you're in that heightened energy and you can maintain it, the heightened energy being the true self, you know, the consciousness. Once you're in that conscious energy, then Spirit can bring you what's meant for you. You know, so you've got that faith now, you've got that level of faith. There's definitely something new materialising for you this week. You've got the Fool to the Ace of Swords. This is new, this is all new, and it is definitely breakthroughs. There's somebody connected to you who likes to be very free, and they are making some sort of major breakthrough this week about you. All right, major breakthrough. This is somebody that wants a new start with you. They see it absolutely crystal clear. It doesn't have to be a lover, it could be anybody, but somebody connected to you is really moving forward now in their freedom. They're just going to be feeling so great the next week. If it's not to do with a person, but it's like a situation, there's a situation here that is just, like I said to you, it's compatible with you, because compatibility doesn't have to just be in a relationship that you're manifesting a compatible partner. You're manifesting everything compatible for you right now, and that's how I started off the reading, you know, and it's because you're not blocking yourself and obstructing yourself with your mind anymore. You're really in your spiritual maturity, in your truth, and it's getting easier and easier for you to just, you know, be in your higher consciousness and choose the higher consciousness choices, not be reactive to stuff around you. You know, you're maintaining a high vibration. We've been doing a lot of work on this, haven't we? And where you're maintaining this higher vibration, it's like, boom. You could have a big realisation this week. But also, it's like the repercussions of that is that because you are now able to maintain this high vibration and just be, you know, your true self, something is happening for somebody around you. They're having some sort of realisation here. Or a situation that's meant for you is just breaking through. You know, like if it's a job or something finally coming together for you that you've been really wanting to come together, it finally starts to come together for you this week. Oh, look, there's somebody thinking about you. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Okay, so just... something is meant for you. Someone or something is meant for you. It could be multiple things, and it's because you are having these major breakthroughs. You're shedding your crab-like shell, and you're being the true Cancerian, the soft Cancerian underneath. The spiritual one, you know. In your heart, your truth. Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. So Spirit is sort of saying to you that they know it was really confusing. They know that you were obstructed. They know you were confused about a situation in your life, even about just how you were dealing with your own self, and you were probably confused about who you were. But you're getting a lot more understanding and unfolding. You're getting so many understandings about your life finally now, and the next week. Spirit is channeling more and more to you the next week, like confirmations about you and your life, and you're accessing that divine wisdom because you are separating off from the false self. You know, when I talk about the false self, I'm talking about like all the inner child stuff, the fears, the worries, the neediness. That's not you. That's just the inner child ego, and the super ego, which is very critical of others, critical of our lives. Again, separating off from that, that's not you. That's the ego. That's in a nutshell, that's the ego. And that you're separating off from that, and you're just able to maintain your truth and your conscious truth. Like, you know, your truth about everything in your life, and just follow that without thinking about all of that other stuff. And so you come close to Spirit, you come close to the divine, you're accessing information, you're accessing truth. And things are going to become more and more clear to you now at this time. Spirit is helping you learn and giving you information about the mysteries that had really previously conflicted you and confused you. So the next week's big. It's very big for Cancer the next week. And you will find that either someone's having a breakthrough about you, or there is a new situation that's breaking through into your life now, and it's really starting to happen, you know, and you'll just know. It's like you just know that this is divine timing and things are coming together for you now, beautifully. Okay, beautifully, they're coming together for you. So that's the message. If you do like it, please give the video a thumbs up, because it helps it get out across YouTube. If you want to book in for a reading, you know, you can just contact me. I do an hour reading, or a 40-minute reading, or a 10-minute reading. And I also do birth chart. If you feel like you have repeated blocks with something, I will go into your birth chart and very easily tell you what's going on, so that you don't feel obstructed anymore and you can just move forwards with faith, and feel more aligned. So that's it, really. So yeah, I'm sending you lots of love and peace across Gaia, wherever you are, for your week ahead.